The last breath whispered raggedly from his chest, as lines of dawn light sent shafts of gold across the lowering, cloud-shrouded hills. The ceremonies had already been discussed with the shamans for some days, ever since Volkas had been brought back to the camp with the dark blood bubbling in his mouth. It had been a great victory on the mountain above the lake, but the final outcome had been devastating. In the days before the expedition, the shamans had told Volkas it would be a magnificent triumph. They had sung their songs to the gods and reiterated what every warrior already knew. The soul did not perish after death, but merely passed from one body to another. War and death were one. Battle was the warrior's way to attain the underworld, but death did not mean he lost his foothold in the terrestrial world. His soul passed to another warrior deemed worthy to receive it, and all who died in this coming battle would be loved by the war gods. So they had marched and ridden out with exultation, and among the trees on the dark hills above the lake they had found their enemies. Volkas had led the charge with his great bronze boar shield and his flailing axe. They followed him as though he were a god himself, and perhaps he was that day, for the enemy had fallen before him like ripe corn as he had swept his way down the hill, roaring in bloodlust, up to the gates of the enemy encampment. The slaughter had been great. Many slaves had been taken. There had been a wild wailing of women, and the fires had blazed to the heavens when they had entered the village and sacked it. For 2 days they had remained there, eating, drinking, using the women, selecting the strong for slaves, slaughtering the young and infirm. They dug a great pit to celebrate the victory, and into it they piled a vast array of weapons, ritually broken: spears, shields, swords, axes, helmets, a tribute to the gods. Into the pit Volkas had cast his own sword and his helmet, the boar crest, his talismanic war symbol. He had proclaimed himself as a great chieftain, and he saluted the gods for their support. A shaft of evening sunlight had glowed on the darkening hill beyond them, as though in recognition of the dead. But who could know what the gods intended? Who could ever know?